Hi, welcome to my tiny tube. I'm Margie, I'm okay, I'm empath, and I like having these little conversations on how you feel about things. I know people are feeling all kind of way today. It's an all kind of way today, feeling kind of way today. Woo woo, everything's woo woo. I still hear these readers, man. These readers, they're telling their accounts of things, and they're like, "Man, I can't believe what's happening. It's tripping me out." Really, in the shell of a nut. I'm like, and then they're like, "I don't want to scare you. It's not woo woo." And I'm just like, dude, that's exactly what the point is. Is everything is freaking woo woo. Everything is woo woo. Are people of the inhabitants of this planet right now are experiencing this planet in several different dimensions, in several different frequencies. I'm flipping around between the 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension. Going, man, maybe they'll come in, man. Maybe they'll come up here and see what it's like. But I just look down and I see them all freaking fighting against each other. Like the cells in a human's body, that's what we are. We're like the cells in a person's body. And when there's so much disease, there's so much hurt and pain. Creates a dissonance, a cognitive dissonance, and then it's how cancers are made. So essentially, right now, we are the cancer of Mother Earth. For a little while longer, people are going to straighten it out. People are going to figure it out. Tut-tuck. Just a good boy. I snapped at Mom earlier. See, that's the thing. I'm awful. I'm so blissed out. I'm Cancer freaking rising, so I'm loving it. I got Cancer in my first and second house. I'm just like, I feel like I'm coming. I feel like I'm born. I feel like all that other time I've been waiting in a waiting room, spectating, watching how things work, and then I'm actually being birthed onto a planet where I might actually be welcome, and that kind of feels good to me. I did snap at Mom, and I quickly made amends. I was like, "Can I give you a hug?" No. Not right now, maybe later. I got that when I was a baby. She was one of those people that didn't know how to deal with my emotions and crying because she never had responsibility, and she had her own pain, but she didn't know how to deal with the pain of other things. And I needed that. I was born small, baby, 6.6 pounds 4 ounces. I had Addison's disease because she drew on me because she was so stressed in vitro. And then when I came out, I was like, okay, now nurse me back. And I couldn't, and then she didn't, so she was one of those that would just like give me nothing. So that's how I look for love. And this little being that just will do anything, this little lapdog pretty much, I'll do whatever you want just to make you happy, And then the people because of where I come from, the people just give me nothing. And but it's a new calendar because I guess, according to Mike over at the Peace Dealer, the Mayan calendar is they miscalculated the Mayan calendar and it's really ending now. So the end of age is right now. So what do I care, But I learned to love myself. So when I learn to love myself, then I can actually see through the muck and the mire of other people that have been through hell on earth, and learn to love themselves too, without having to shut down because they can't handle their own emotions related to how the experiences that other people have gone through. I made some notes. I meditated twice today. An hour, 6 minutes both times. I'm like, I got nothing else to do, Oh, but the thing of it is timelines are flipping, and that's the thing. Yesterday is the first day of summer. I'll be darned if it don't feel like it's September, October. And that's why it's making me nervous, and that's why I meditated twice, because come October I gotta move, I gotta go, I gotta bounce. The landlord wants their place back, and that's the way it goes. And I was planning on bouncing then anyway, so that's alright by me. I just, now I gotta start planning. So I've been trying to manifest for 3 years and it hasn't worked, but the planets haven't been in alignment, and now, well, they are. So I was thinking about what I want to name this talk is That's what people are feeling right now, man. People are feeling the karma of all of the bloodlines, the history, how they're, is that they don't believe the same things that their mom and dad told them. I know I don't believe the same stuff my mom and dad told me. And I know my mom and dad don't believe the same. Well, my mom was adopted. She was forced into adoption. It's Native American, 1953. That was a storyline that was true and accurate. But people just can't believe that doesn't happen. No, not the American government. They're not. They do everything. It's just whatever. Anyway, so people are feeling past life karma, and it's just like it's like they're being rebirthed again, and it's uncomfortable until you until you get to the dip, and sometimes there's bliss in that dip. If you're balanced out. If you're not balanced out, man, people are just gonna be going crazy. They're gonna be like it's just cognitive dissonance. What it makes people do, I know it. I've seen it my whole life. That's how I moved from anybody else move from where they live, but you're a kindergartner and your mom picks you up from school and your whole car's packed and why are the cats in the car too? We're going on an adventure. Okay. Drive for 9 hours. This is where we live now. And then shortly after that, within a couple of weeks, this was like 1980 or 1979, the energies were just like they are now in a lot of ways, heated, raw, animalistic, People can't control themselves, and we're seeing it. And we're going to also see more evidence of how people haven't been able, and that's like in a private, perverted manner too. That's all stuff coming out too. It's just when people are living from ego, they do whatever they want, and the stuff that they want to do is really freaking gross and unimaginative, quite frankly. People that could. Oh, I was thinking about this earlier. People that control me and put me in my place, because everybody does it. Though people, and I'm like I'm over complimentary. I don't know what it is. I know my stuff, so it's just like I go in, I get people just don't. I get slow blinks a lot, even at the freaking bank. I guess I'm too thorough, and they're just really used to dealing with freaking shells of human beings all day that they just have the same conversations. So when I come through, I'm hard to receive, I guess. I don't know. But people have always liked to control me, even since I was a little baby. I came across the controlling vibe, and and it's just like and I'm just like, all right, I'll yield until my spirit has a point that I won't yield. That there's a point that it's right. It's better to just I would rather stand for what I believe in and freaking reincarnate and then just poof, poof, poof. Oh, there goes another one, poof. Back to source. The ISB, poof, poof, poof. The ISB farm, poof, poof. There goes another one, I'd rather do that than live under control. And I ain't gonna wear a mask, and I ain't gonna walk around in fear like, I'm sick. Because I've been healthy my whole life, Because everybody's always trying to, I'm like Sheldon. Everybody's trying to freaking make me be something I'm not. And just freaking, hey, Oka, Marge. Leave me alone, you big bullies. People are jerks, man. I could be jerkier, though. So yeah, I walked out of the room this evening, and Mom had the heater on. And it's like 7, I'm like, Mom. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm in here having like hot flashes. Like, and stuff like that. Because the energy is just pulsing everywhere. I'm feeling people's fury, and I'm just like, dude, this ain't mine. They'll be alright. They'll calm themselves down. They'll be alright. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. They'll be okay. Because that's what anger does, is people have a flashpoint. Everything has a flashpoint. Shelf lives everything has a flashpoint. So everything has its, we're all just chemicals, so positive, negative, they reach a boiling point like a little teapot, that's like short and stout, and everybody's boiled up inside and has just acted like everything's great and love and light for so long while thinking, man, that's a messed up bullshit and all this stuff, and people are figuring out that there are two worlds. There is the world that people are speaking from their heart, and then there's the world that people live from their ego. And that we've been living the last 500 years In the world, in a timeline, one timeline, 3D. When there's 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D. There's all these different dimensions and all these different realities, but the powers that be, the ones that control the is-be, they like to make money. And they profit selling the element of fear. So every time they get people to freak out in the world, you know, so people are going to come in together that, oh, don't give them what they want. You know, like the kid that's throwing a tantrum. Just let him burn himself out. He'll take a nap, he'll wake up, you'll give him a snack. You know, here's an apple, kid, you'll be all right. Let's go outside and play and look at some birds and stuff. You know, get grounded. Because everybody's kundalini energy right now is just freaking flooding their energy field. And they're being blasted with love. And how many people don't know how to receive love? Because I sure as heck didn't. Because that's it. Because my ego. Because, yep, nope, sure didn't. I still don't know how to receive love. We'll find out how I receive love. Because I still ain't never really got it. So, I guess if I start, let's see if all this training I've given myself in the spiritual realm and lining my chakras, which is actually the ultimate in lie detection. If you want to learn how to read people, you gotta freaking take the time to get quiet and learn how to read your own body and feel your own feelings and handle your own emotions and start feeling your own sensations. And heck, it's amazing how easy and quick it is to just stop chasing sensations when you can just lay here and feel all. To me, what some people call it rapture. It's like a kiss of 1,000 angels, you know. You don't even need people anymore when you start feeling like that. But the fact is, you still need people. Because when you're in these states of consciousness, then you start getting flooded with all these ideas, and then that's when the work begins. You need people. So, you know, anybody that was excited about, you know, the ego deflation event of I can't remember what, anyway. I feel bad for DT. I do. He thought so many people were going to show up for him, and then ego deflation. I've been there, man. I've always thought people were going to show up for me, and you know, because I always imagined how I would show up for other people. So I always dreamed about like what I would do, and then later in life, I did make those dreams come true a long way, but. The astrology, my planet stopped, and I had to just sit here. Well, I guess other people caught up, I guess, in the ego deflation area is what I mean. Because when your ego's deflated, then all you care about is what you love. You know? My mom wasn't even that cool to me to begin with. She wasn't. So I'm just so excited that I have love for her today. Because I didn't have any. I didn't have hatred for her. I just had indifference. I just didn't understand why she could not pay attention enough. And then so I became hypervigilant in life, and I overcompensated by training myself, and I went and had my life path, and to make sure that I'll be sufficient, you know. And I just wanted to pass on what I've learned to other people for fun and for free. And if people want to freaking pay me back in some sort of capacity, they've already done it. I've had people contribute to me. I know I'm going to have a place to land. I'd like it to be someplace on around the 40, 39th parallel. I got some love to add to that, you know. I went down an ant-hole earlier about all the judges, you know, because judges throw, you know, you look at a judge sideways, they'll have you thrown in jail. Well, what's the offense? And then they make up stuff. I mean, that's why prisons and jails are full of people that have been there for, like, weed crimes for, like, 20, 30... It's, like, absurd, you know? Well, it's weird. It's all this corruption that's coming out, and I'm all these elections for judges and stuff like that, and I'm like, they're all more of the same, because they all went to the same schools, you know? They all went to the same colleges. They're all in the Masonic, you know, order. They're all in the same fraternities. And it's a locked gig, but that's what people are figuring out, because people like me have been making these videos for 3 years about how how here's the corruption. Here it is. Just go to the city and .gov pages. Look up how much they pay themselves to freaking make the cracks wider. And then tell everyone, oh look, we're just, all this, when all this stuff comes up, it's just to make more nonprofits, and then it's just more cheater way stuff of rich people to get richer, while the us people that all this money is supposed to be benefiting and helping are going, well, that's funny, I haven't had running water in 3 years, and I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force. I got a 96 on my ASVAB when these cops, all they got to score is a 37 high school diploma. That's it, and they get, and I can't even help people, get people, I've explained it to, I had 7 business cards of city employees because they all come and look at we did, look at we made. They don't come anymore. Now it's all overgrown. It's going to dry out. They're supposed to come and get all the sprinkler system because they've been watering the weeds for 3 years every summer. 3-4 times a week on an hour timer. That's where I'd get my water, to wash dishes and stuff. I wouldn't drink it. I get my toilet water from the creek that I live next to. I make do. I get my drinking water from the fountain up next to the Rite Aid. So if people think I'm so fucking important, I get creek water and I put it in an ice cream bucket and I flush the toilet. I dump it in the toilet, and I've done it for 3 years. And then I sit and I watch and I listen to the things that people complain about. What makes them sad. And I think about my whole life story, and I can still find the joy and the love. So I ask myself, are people ready to be accountable for themselves? Are they ready to be responsible for their own actions? I'm responsible for everything I've ever done. I've done my 4th step, I've done my 5th step, I've done all the steps, and I've talked for years to people how they're the steps and not the elevator. So you can't, and I've done them more than once. I've done them so many times. I've talked about the concepts, I've talked about the principles, I've talked about the stuff with the old people that nobody likes listening to. I've sat around the tables and all of the business part, the boring part, in places like frickin' Columbus, Nebraska, and the Holiday Inns there. How's that for humility? Ego deflation. I had always had better stuff to do on my weekends to listen to the frickin' hot air bags of those frickin' egos. Anyway, the world's changing. It already did. The old world's dead. It's already split. Ain't nothing gonna be like it was. Now let's see what people are gonna make of it. First of all, they're gonna throw a bunch of tantrums because they already are like a bunch of little babies. And that's okay. You want pats? You want circles? You need pats or circles? You gonna be okay? You gonna tell yourself you're gonna be alright? Somebody called me volatile the other week. I'm like, I speak in matters and facts. I really have no time for other people's feelings and emotions because it's taken me 46 years old to deal with my own. Hey-ho. Let's break it up a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, I think about military. I'm like, let's think about other things that people don't. You know how you have all these people, you hear about all the military brats, they move around every 3 years and stuff like that. Because I got a big move coming, and I moved from Nebraska. I orchestrated it pretty good. Every divine time it worked out. The place came that I could land. Here and the truck driver for the move, and things will be different this time, but everything lined up, and so the stress is there, but it's easier to admit I can keep it small, and but the thing of it is I have so much less now, I mean, I don't speak to, I mean, like, because, like, my brother flew up and we flew mom out from Omaha to here, and I drove with the dogs, 4 dogs, a bird, and a cat. The bird died. Anyway, so my logistics has changed, but I feel like my tribal set, people are always there when I need them. I never have to worry about them. I want to get to freaking somewhere around Bernie, like Northern California, not in Redding. I saw a perfect description of a place on Zillow, and I'm seeing places that are like 139,000. I'm like, I could do that. I just need to get in there, and I can't use my VA loan because the one in Omaha went upside down, 18 grand. And I see like this, like tarot card readers, you know. I mean, yeah, I see what you're trying to do, and you're doing stuff, but your music is okay. And she's doing like Kickstarter funds for like freaking $5 grand to do a mediocre, you know. And I'm like, I'm freaking Heyoka. I'm like, I can't, you know. But I always sell myself short, so it's like I just give it to the universe, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, you know. Whatever. I can't tie any reality or any outcome to any kind of reality, because the disappointment is too hard on my endocrine system. It shorts me out. I can't handle the dip, and I gotta keep high in vibration, because your animals and the people around you pick on you, and they know that you're not happy, and they feel it, and you're just trying to act, and I don't even act like it. So I gotta stay in my, you know, truth, and just make sure my truth is pure, you know. Because there's going to be so many people that are just going to be giving up, and I ain't a give upper. I know, I ain't my way. So welcome to the higher dimensions, folks. You know, because people are raising in consciousness, so they're spending more time on the 6th, 7th, 8th D Earth. You know, so the people in 3D are freaking, well, they're literally being vacuum pulled up, and in consciousness and spirituality, coming into the realization that they are mind, body, and spirit. And they're like, what, woo woo is what, things are woo woo. So welcome to the higher dimensions. I've been waiting for you. I'm glad you're here. And if I'm not your teacher, then you're not my student, and that's okay. You still teach me. I've been ridiculed my whole entire life. I've always been ridiculed. Ridicule. Subject: someone or something to contemptuous and dismissive language or behavior. That's a verb. As a noun, the subjection of someone or something to contemptuous and dismissive language or behavior. That's not what I looked up earlier. Because that's what someone does when they call you ridiculous, and I've been called out ridiculous by the same person who said I was volatile. So I'm like, well, I must not be doing a very good job of representing who I'm trying to be. So I just stopped trying to represent myself in that area. I'm not going to put my energy, my heart space energy, into people that aren't willing to think of a different way. But, you know, it's like having the same conversation over and over. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to video chat with you, you jackal, and you won't do it. So I gave up. So I had to walk away from my twin flame. I'm not sad about it, because I'm already my own match. See, people don't make you feel anyway. Your emotions and your feelings are your own personal, autonomous spiritual experience. How they behave, you're just watching it. Now, if they act out things that like have made you sad, and you step into the new planet and you still act the same way, that's on you. Own it. You're still on the 3D Earth. Stay there. Act like it. Own it. Live it. Live in your trash cities. Urine smells bad. Yeah, so I know all those big crowds are they're peeing everywhere. So, I mean, the city's smells are just going to start, you know, smelling like, you know, I try and keep my house as clean as I can. Well, I do a pretty good job, but, you know, some smells you just, just sits in your vibe, you know. And I've told people, hey, I need help. Hey, I need help. You know. And so I started doing this video and just started talking to strangers because people just quit answering me. So I was like, all right, I'll find a different way. 3 years later. That's all right. It's been my astrology, and it's given me a chance to love my mom, and we have a good time. It's given me a chance to let go my ego. It's given me a chance to, you know, love on my old guys. My dogs are all getting old, you know. But nothing better than an old dog. Old dog. You know. And I help people pass on raising spirit. And that sometimes that entails the hard part too. Animals and people. You don't let nobody go alone, man. You know? Everybody's spirit counts, even if it's been, because hurt people, and I'm here to go into the shadow and help people. You know, let's talk about that stuff. I'll get, you know, because it'll get nasty and I won't leave. That's the thing, is you can get nasty and let it all out on me, and I do not take it personally. So you can get loud, you just can't put your hands on me. That's the thing. You know? Because when you get loud and nasty and angry with me, you're telling me where your hurts are coming from. When you tell me what your background was, my spectrum is full. I'm just here to help, you know. Some people are that freaking coffee cup that break a plate or something, they put it back together with gold. I was shattered. I was shattered when a man decided to take my essence at 10 months old. My spirit like rose up out of my, and the younger that trauma happens, the more it fragments. Because you don't know who you are yet. You just came from source. And then the more trauma happens, it you know, your spirit's like up and out, what, you know, and it's just like, I've had a lot of near-death experience. I've had the traumas, you know, and we weren't even allowed to talk about it until, like, you know, I went to the Air Force and I started going to these suicide seminars and stuff, and like going to these, you know, meetings with my friends at Bill W. and hearing their stories and how, you know, they've developed, and I'm just like, man, they ain't having, you know, I've seen way worse, you know? It's just that people are less and less taught to learn how to soothe themselves because they want to feel the importance of other people relying on them. I think that's pretty much it in the shell of a nut right there. I could be wrong. So, I think I'll end up on this part. Sorry. Steady there, Turbo. Everybody gets to feel war. Everybody gets to feel what it feels like to be threatened, and that's what people are feeling now. This is past life karma that's going down right now, you know. So you're gonna start feeling the helicopter, you know, more and more of the helicopters. It's just gonna, you know, and that's the part that is just funny to me is that there is no actual threat out there. There isn't, and that's when the world's gonna start changing. Is that when people are like, oh wait, what am I actually afraid of? Someone's gonna get me. What are they gonna get? Well, they're going to take away my... Oh, because I took a $67,000 pay cut to hang out with my mom. I get by on like $2,000 a month maybe, and rent's like $1,200. It ain't been easy to been saving. I've been trying to save money for a year, you know, by trying to freaking keep our head, you know, and I've done a good job. I can float a 20-cent loan for 10 days. Until freaking Amazon pulled some stuff where they changed the policy, and I didn't read all the fine print, and then they took 150, like, without even saying, hey, we're going to do it, they just redid it. And I always paid myself. That's why I don't like automatic payments. I like doing it myself so I can keep track of my accounts. And they just took it, and then and that put me into a spin. And then the VA wanted to, are your migraines because of your spinal injury? A bunch of lawyers wanted to know, and then put me through the ringer through that. So I'm just like, this whole time, I'm just trying not to freaking short out. So I can teach later when people need me how not to short out when things happen in our life, because we're just a spirit having a human experience, and the more BS that gets thrown at you, the higher you are in vibrational frequency, so you must be doing something right. So keep doing it. I've always been divine. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, now I'm starting to get seen. I say stuff, like over at Natalie Denise, where she's like, her people like made a comment, like, how much money did they spend on him swinging in? It's pageantry. And then nobody showed up. And that was candidate stuff. That was separate than his job. So that was private. He wasn't supposed to use, which brings me to the point that, like, every time that they move the chess pieces, we've always paid for that. Every time, like, I don't get to freaking call up, say, all right, I got a ship date, I got to be out of here by the 15th of October, and then movers come, and then I get time off and extra, because they all get extra allowance for moving, they get extra allowance for everything. They have their base pay, which is high to begin with, but then they pay themselves, the officers. Not the enlisted, I assure you. That's a different story. No. They do okay, but they just keep buying more toys and get stuck in that thing. They stay good with what they got. But the officers, they went to school, they're smarter. So they got per diem. They got this, they get paid to go. They don't pay any medical bills. We pay for all that stuff. And then say that we don't work hard enough to get the same privileges. I've noticed in Oregon they're making the minimum wage like $13.75, and I think it's funny that the people that designate that are paying themselves, like, what senators and congressmen pay themselves in this country is disgusting. I mean, the kings in their mind they are kings and queens, so they pay themselves, and then we are their and just like there's nothing to fear, we're all equal. And the people that are figuring out that, the narcissists and stuff like that, they're figuring out that they're the ones that are running scared. They're the ones that are really freaking out. And when people are scared, they do weird stuff. We're just going to sit back and be like, so it's only a matter of time to, because the truth always comes out. It's like it has a vibrational frequency. It's like a sliver. A splinter. It's like something unnatural. It's an unnatural vibration that has a natural course. So it will go up through all the vibrations until it reaches the vibration of truth. Because there ain't no place for that 3D nonsense on this whatever dimension you choose. It's wherever you vibe is what the planet it is. You're creating your experience of Earth, and I'm about to make my experience to be good. You just gotta keep track of that ego. I think I've been running my mouth long enough. Michigan. I got good points of references of Michigan. They got shit water there too. No water there. See, they all pay themselves. Oh, we're gonna make the water situation. Yeah, but when your dad moved, he got to he didn't. I mean, you pack a box here and there, but a truck comes up, and then they freaking take you to the next place, and then there's your new life, And a lot of these people, they got to buy a house in every place. So a lot of these military people are partially responsible because they're the ones that are causing, are setting the rents high, especially in college towns, because there's so many freaking college kids that are living in their cars because colleges are $200,000 for the college experience when rich people just pay to get their kids in anyway. It's all that shit. It's all that stuff that's just like, that's the imbalance. And that's what the rain people, the rain dance have been doing. They dance for 3 days. You know why? To stir up emotions. It happens at the summer solstice. It ain't no joke. It happens with the astrology. We're the rainbow kids, man. We're the kids of the light. And we want to live in the rainbow where the colors are. We don't want to live in the absence of color, what's just all white and static and white noise. There's no spectrum in white. It's the absence of color. Black is all color. Anyway, so they do their rain dance, and people they're shaking their woogies out right now. They're shaking their fears, their insecurities, those low vibrational frequencies. What we're going to see, it's happening in people, and it's stirring, and then where these people are sitting on the planet where the electrical grid is, that's when the freaking storms this week are going to be like, wow. Midwestern storms were, I got some rad pictures, and I used to just go out, I'm kind of a storm chaser at heart. Oregon storms are wussy. Maybe they'll get better. Who knows? I don't know. The vibe in Oregon's pretty low. What do you do? There's some high vibrational, but by comparison, they should be way more advanced than it is. It's like stuck in a cated dictatorship. So, I don't know. People are waking up, figuring it out. What are you going to do? People's spirits are waking up. So, when they're fleshing out all this low vibrational stuff, they're being flooded with kundalini energy, and sometimes, man, you just gotta lay back and enjoy that. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Look up rapture. What's the word rapture mean? I didn't know what none of this stuff meant. I just looked stuff up as I went away, because I just always thought it was, Bible stuff or churchy stuff or rich people stuff, People that had health insurance and stuff like that. And I got insurance, and then I'm like, oh, it's just more of a racket. Because I still have to pay everything out of pocket because I'm just a single freaking brown girl. But, kids that freaking perpetuate the people farm, you get all the breaks and bonuses and freaking extra cash and help and all this. And I'm like, it's freaking, hello? Equal opportunity spirit